Hey guys, Raj here. This time I'm going to be doing a review on a fragrance from Dior, their latest release into their men's mainstream line. This fragrance is called Sauvage, which is not to be confused with Eau Sauvage that came out years ago. They haven't decided to come up with a new name. For some reason they've stuck with the name Sauvage. It means wild in French, a name that's been linked with the house for years. So a strange decision. This fragrance comes in two sizes. A 60 ml will cost you £50. A 100 ml will cost you £67.50. I'm not sure of the American prices. I'm sure you guys can check. Quite a simple note breakdown here. You have got basically pepper and bergamot, or ambroxan, and amber woods, they're calling it. Cool design. I do like the design of the bottle. Does look quite similar to their Dior's Privé collection with the magnetic cap. So I've been working off a couple of samples actually, so this is just one of them, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this fragrance, which has come in for a lot of criticism on, well, from like YouTube reviewers on Fragrantica. There's definitely some people who like it, but I think majority of the reviews have been quite negative. So I don't really think in terms of what I'm going to say is going to be anything different in terms of describing the scent, but I'll give my opinion anyway. So I think this is a versatile fragrance. I think it is a casual fragrance. It's a work fragrance. I don't think this is something to be worn in any upscale event when you're looking to make an impression, shall I say, or when you're just looking to elevate things to just a slightly higher level. I think it has a versatility in terms of seasons. I really think you could wear this all year round. It might not be appropriate in colder weather, or appropriate in the sense that there are maybe more stronger options that you might want to go for, but I think it does have quite a good versatility to it. I think this feels like more of a sport fragrance, a type of fragrance you might wear to the gym, or after the gym, or after any sort of exercise, that kind of thing. So in terms of the performance, not that great, to be honest. I thought the longevity on this fragrance on my skin was quite bad. I probably got about 4 hours of longevity. I really had to spray quite a lot before I got anything that was decent. It does jump off the skin in the opening few hours quite well, and I did receive a couple of compliments actually on the first day of wearing this, and some people did notice it straight away, but it was basically like a fresh spray. So that's pretty much how it is in terms of performance. In terms of the smell, well, this fragrance kind of has three stages for me. The opening is the one that I like the most, and you do get this. It's kind of like it is quite a synthetic note. It doesn't remind me of anything in the real world, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is kind of like a generic freshness, but I do like that. You do find this type of freshness, this type of chemical note in a lot of other mainstream fragrances. Doesn't make it a bad thing, but it doesn't really stand out for me. You're going to smell good. It does smell like a fragrance that you might find in, and actually this was mentioned in the Fragrance Bros videos, you might find in like your local clothing store. They might do a fragrance that might sell for like £20. Like in the UK you've got like Next and like Zara and things like that, brands like that. It does kind of have that feeling to it. Doesn't make it a bad thing, but with Dior and for the money they're charging here, you kind of would expect a little bit more. There is a little bit of a sharp lemon in there. Quite hard to kind of pick out notes. Everything is all blended in together in this one ball of synthetic freshness, which I think is decent. I don't dislike it. Later on, the fragrance does develop into something that I do dislike, and it turns into really basically like a really nice deodorant. And I was on like the Facebook groups and I heard this mentioning of deodorant, and I was like, no way can Dior produce a fragrance that smells like that. Yeah, but they did. And basically this is in the dry down, which is the worst part of the fragrance. It smells like a really good deodorant. Now, I don't wear deodorant out of a can. I stopped doing that when I came out of my teenage years. But this just reminds me of something that you would go into a locker room or changing room, and you know, just like teenagers spraying on like Lynx Africa and all that kind of stuff, you know, Right Guard and all that kind of crap. And it's just not really for me. It doesn't smell bad, really. Like, it's not a disgusting smell, but it's not a very refined, it's not a very sophisticated fragrance. It's not a very grown-up type of fragrance. I wouldn't recommend this fragrance to anyone, to be honest. And I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, not because I think overall the scent is a very bad scent. It's pleasing, you know, it's going to get you compliments. But there are many, many other fragrances out there that are pleasing and will get you compliments, and crucially, I think, are cheaper, or at least on the same price level. Dior Homme Sport, another fragrance from Dior. Dior Homme Cologne. Sauvage is, you know, definitely one that I would recommend over this one if you're looking to stay within Dior. But then also, you know, lots of other fresher fragrances out there. You know, Thierry Mugler's Mugler Cologne, Terre d'Hermès. There is now an Eau Fraiche version of that. You've got you know, Issa Miyake, L'Eau d'Essai, and Acqua di Gio, and you know, you could go on forever just talking about better alternatives in this genre that do a better job. So, you know, what I try and avoid on this channel most of the time is telling people what to do. Like, I won't say definitely buy this or don't buy this, but actually on this occasion I would say don't buy it, but simply because there are better and often cheaper alternatives out there. So that's kind of like, that's the way I would summarize this fragrance. Not bad, but you could do a lot more for your money, and actually you could do a lot more for less than what you're paying for here, what they're charging. Overall rating is going to be, I'm going to go with about 5 out of 10. Yeah, 5 out of 10. Disappointing, not disgusting. It's not the worst fragrance I've ever smelled. I've smelled far worse fragrances that smell that cost much more. You know, a lot of niche houses often produce weird scents. It's not weird, it's crowd pleasing, it'll get the job done, but I don't want to pay this type of money for this type of fragrance. So there you go, guys. Let me know your thoughts as always. I do like hearing from you guys, whether it's you agree with me or you disagree. Whatever you have to say, say it. Thanks for watching, take care, bye.